everyone, it's Bailey from Making Out the Midwest, and today I have another 2 reviews actually of new Khroma products from the new Kardashian beauty line. These 2. I've already done one of Khloe's Cardazzle, kind of this has both eyes and face, and I'll put a link to that right here, like a little video. Just click that if you want to see it. But this video is going to be all about the nude lip set. This is the Au Naturel nude lip set. I'm wearing that right now, as well as the Shebang Quick Transformation set, and I'll give you a close-up of both of these. Also wearing right now. So this is going to be both an overview telling you what you get at each set. It's going to be a tutorial showing you how I get this look, and then at the end I'm going to recommend, like make product recommendations. Do I like them? Do I not? So you can see all that in this video. If you'd like to, please continue watching. Alright, let's start off with the Quick Transformation Kit, the Shebang Kit. In this you get an eyeshadow palette up here. You get a dual-ended sponge tip applicator, a black eyeliner, and then a set of lashes here that I'm actually wearing. You'll see that up close in the tutorial. In this eyeshadow palette, let's go over that first, since it is definitely what drew me to this kit. I find it the most alluring part of this set, just because the shadows looked really rich and looked really original and very seasonal. The cranberries and the deep purples, if I can get it out. Here we go. So here is the palette up close. You can see that there are these are actually 2 shades here. 2 shades in the middle and then 2 over here. This is kind of a light frosted purple, kind of grayish almost. This is kind of a dark, deep cranberry. Here is a frosty white shade, and here is a champagne, more of a yellowy champagne shade. All of these shades are metallic, by the way, so let me get something to clean my fingers off with. Alright, now we can resume. This is kind of a mid-tone chocolatey brown, really gorgeous, and here is a kind of a deeper purple. So that is everything you get in this palette, and they swatch beautifully. I will tell you that much right now. Obviously, I rubbed 2, maybe 3 times around to get the kind of pigmentation I did on my fingers, but we all know that something that swatches good doesn't always necessarily apply well, so I'll go over that later. So you get this palette with, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 eyeshadow shades in it. Then you get the dual-ended, we all know what a sponge tip applicator looks like. That's in here. Then you also receive a black eyeliner. I mean, it's a pretty standard, relatively pigmented. It's not necessarily anything special. The texture is more waxy though than a lot of kind of drugstore brand, especially wooden eyeshadows. When they're not automatic, I tend to expect a drier formula, and this is drier, but it's a little more forgiving. It just has a more waxy consistency, which is good because it means it stays longer. And then the last thing that came on here was a set of lashes, which you will get a close-up of when I do my tutorial, like I said before. Oh, as well as lash glue. You get a tiny little thing of lash glue, which is actually pretty decent lash glue. I was pretty impressed with that. So this eyeshadow palette looks, it looks a little flimsy, but I will say that it's more substantial than I expected it to be, but it doesn't include a mirror, and that is something that this palette included that I really liked about this. There's kind of no mirror to be had, which defeats the purpose of a transformation palette, which I believe is what it's called, or something to that effect. It's kind of hard to transform when you don't have a mirror. So I would have liked to see that in this palette. Also, this retailed for just over $15, I believe, at CVS. So just keep in mind that that is how much this whole set is for what you get. So let me tell you how I got the look I have now. So this look is inspired by kind of the classic deep dark smoky eye that the Kardashians like to rock, because I needed to balance out the nude lips. So to start this off, I applied this black liner all over the moving part of my lid, and once I got a pretty opaque coverage, I started blending it out with my one of my fingers. I can't remember which one, but blend that out all the way up until just into the crease, just so it doesn't look like when you lay shadow on over it, it looks like you get socked in the eye. There's some sort of kind of gradient that you can blend your shadows into. Then I went in with the maroon shade because I just think the shade is gorgeous, especially for the holiday season, and I packed that kind of square on the center of my eye. And I went in with the dough or the sponge tip applicators in this look just because I thought, they give it to you, I might as well see what good I can get out of using the kit in its entirety, since you do pay kind of a considerable amount for the number of products in here. So I thought, what the heck, I'll see how far I can get in this look with just the one utensil they give you. So I did. That's what I used to pack this on the center of my eyelid, somewhat towards the inner corner and a little bit towards the outer corner as well. Then flipping that same applicator over, I went into the deepest, darkest kind of purpley plum shade, and I brushed that into my outer corner, packing it on and then feathering it out so it created kind of a subtle smoky wing effect. Once I was happy with those results, I took the clean side and I went into the lighter, frostier white, less yellow, the whiter side of the highlight shades, and I put that in my inner corner as well as my brow bone. The crease is where I ran into some issues with the sponge tip applicator. I just couldn't manage to get it blended out the way anyone really wants their crease to be blended out, so I had to go in with a fluffy blending brush to go into the lightest purpley grayish color and brush that as a blending shade between the deep plum and the maroon. So I brushed that in my crease, and that's pretty much it for the eye look. The last thing I did to complete the eyes was apply the lashes, complete with the adhesive that comes in this kit, which I really liked. It's clear. Obviously it goes on clear, so it dries clear. It dries pretty quickly, which I really enjoyed, and it wasn't terribly irritating. I don't know if you have sensitive eyes. I don't think it'd be terribly irritating. The lashes themselves are full-on lashes. They're not demis. They don't flare out too much at the outer corner. It's pretty even all the way until you get to the inner corner where they start getting shorter, which I love because nothing strikes me as being weird as much as a lash that is straight even across all the way. I like it when they're more they're graduated down towards your the bridge of your nose. So I like that, and they're also crisscrossy, so they're hopefully I have a close-up that I can show you rather than just me trying to describe what they are. After I did the face, which I actually got from this the other palette, Chloe's Cardazzle, which you can, if you want to see how I did this sculpting job, it's the same one I did in this tutorial, so you can check the link in the down bar if you want to see that. Then I moved on to the lips, and in this lip kit you get a dual-ended lip liner lipstick and a lip gloss. So this was also just above 15 bucks, and I was kind of shocked because you get considerable, it looks just, you know, you get less in one than the other. So that was interesting to start off with. Then in this dual-ended lipstick lip liner, they're almost the same shade. Not quite, but just about, but they're drastically different textures. One, the liner is drier, and it's definitely going to stay put. In fact, this, I had all three of them lined up here when I originally swatched them, and it's been about 4 hours now, and the liner's still on, and these two are nowhere to be seen. So the liner really does stick, but it is very drying. It's not moisturizing at all. Then you move on to the lipstick, and it has kind of a broader head and has more of a sheen kind of finish. It's not shiny per se, but it's definitely more of a sheen. And it wears off, obviously, much faster than the liner does. I noticed a slight difference in shades. It's not drastic, but there's definitely, I could distinguish the difference between the two. So whether you like that or not, I don't know, but it's just something I noticed. Also, the scent and flavor of these is slightly different than I've ever encountered in another lip product. They are sweet and smell like candy, not an identifiable candy, but they do smell like candy. When you move on to the lip gloss, however, it's straight up honey. This lip gloss, again, matches pretty well the nude that is in this dual-ended thing, but it smells and tastes overwhelmingly like honey, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. So if you are, that's great, but it's not really for me. Besides that, though, here's the packaging. It's relatively long compared to something like this is from Revlon, so it's a pretty long packaging. The wand, I mean, fits the packaging. And one thing that was kind of disconcerting was the amount of product you get on each time. It's pretty resistant when you put it in and then you pull it out, and there's not a ton of product on the wand. So I had to put it in a few times, spread it around. It's not a sticky gloss, which is great, but it also isn't very long lasting. I didn't notice it adding a ton of extra shine, especially considering when I put it over the lipstick that comes with it, it wasn't super glossy. It was pretty much had almost the same sheen as the lipstick that comes with it. So I wouldn't necessarily say you needed this, actually, unless you just wanted to wear it plain. I think you could achieve kind of the same effect with just this one product, so there's that. All right, let's talk recommendations. To start, I'm not crazy about either one, but let's go into the face palette first. So this actually has some redeeming qualities. I love the shadows. They apply smoothly and evenly. They're very well pigmented. They're relatively unique, although I wouldn't say there's something you couldn't get from another brand, like, say, Maybelline in their quads. They have stellar quads that perform similarly. Even e.l.f. has shades that are similar, although they're not nearly as smooth and creamy. So it might be worth it for the shadows, but everything else is just kind of subpar. This applicator, as with any eyeshadow palette that comes with a sponge tip applicator, chuck that sucker. This pencil is a good pencil. I mean, I think it'll stay quite a while, not on the waterline, but it acts as a good primer. It acts well under my eye, like on my lower lash line, but it's nothing that I don't think I couldn't get from, say, Milani or CoverGirl, some other brand that makes super stellar waterproof liners that will stay on your waterline. And the other thing is these lashes. Now, if you're a lash wearer, that might make these worth it because they're Kardashian lashes. In fact, they probably half of this line is just lashes because that's what they do really well. So you do get a set of those lashes, and if you're a regular lash wearer, that will definitely add some value for you. But I personally am not a regular lash wearer. So to me, this probably isn't worth the $15 that I paid for it. And so I think that's something that you will have to weigh for yourself. I feel like this might be a harsh criticism, but in looking at something like, I love this palette. It was a great quality for Drugstore, and it included a mix of matte and shimmery textures in both the face and the eye products. This is all shimmery. It only includes eye products, and it costs more than this. So it just kind of blew my mind that this didn't feel like the value that you should get for paying $15. So it's not bad by any means, but considering they have super stellar products in their line, it wouldn't be my first pick. If you were going to buy something from the Khroma line, it wouldn't be this. Now let's talk about the lips. First of all, you obviously have to be in the nudes to like this particular duo. Second of all, this is definitely stays true to the Kardashian nude, and so it looks very good on their deeper skin. And so on mine, it kind of made me look dead, and I feel like it's only going to make me look deader the further into winter I get. So I'm kind of borderline on it now as to whether it flatters me, and I don't know if it's because I don't typically wear nudes this nude, I guess, or if it just truly isn't a good color for me. But that's one thing you need to be aware of when you're purchasing this nude kit. The second thing is that I think the lip gloss could go. It's not a particularly good gloss. You don't get a ton of product out when you take the wand out, so you have to keep layering it. And then, like I said before, you don't get much more shine with the gloss than you do with the lipstick that's already included in the double-ended liner and lipstick. So that being said, $15 for this is a little too expensive for me, considering one product isn't necessary. I have mixed feelings on this kit, but I don't think unless you're hardcore into nudes and you think, yeah, I want a lip gloss that tastes like honey and give me that double-ended lip liner lipstick pencil, I'm not sold on it, and I don't think I'd recommend it to anyone for $15. Considering, again, I go back to this kit, which is like, amazing! Eyes, face, pretty much all of the shades are great. This just fell flat for me. So do with it what you will with both of these kits, because there are definitely good aspects to both, but for me they don't outweigh the unnecessary / bad aspects. So I hope you found this helpful. I'm not trying to dissuade you from buying them. I'm just trying to tell you about my experiences with them and how I see them fitting into my makeup collection and routine. So hopefully you found that useful, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!